No matter where you are, help and support is just a phone call away. Dial 1097 HIV/AIDS National Helpline toll-free number.
Pyntrei bakmi yakatnat puli puthi hak jylla uba lakmen rumboi ulai tho pakajing Pyntrei nakamta ki Southly ki Meghalaya Model Residential School hapok jylla layo de ki company ke banashbar namar ke jungwan ke klam covid khat khandai house name ubaladep ulong bak jylla ke Pyntrei bakan bo Southly ki Meghalaya Model Residential School hapok jylla patna kine artli ke jing Pyntrei klaya kata hapo samanda hapo Isgar Hills pat paham sim Ribhoi district katba highway pat ki jaka ke jing Pyntrei ya ke detail project report bat ke jing jiet ya ki jaka kadang ya chakmat menta kasi nakliang wemele ke Congress na Mausenram uba Himalaya shang pliang ulabu ya ke jing kali hapo ke yung dorbar halo ke jing Pyntrei ya ke Emrs hapo ke jylla habujuba pi ki jingkali uba rumboi ulai thu bana kita ki Southly ki school ya ke jing Pyntrei la ai shakatnat puli puthi ke jylla lingba ke engineering cell artli khatlaitli la yo ban Pyntrei da ka water and power consultancy services limited par arpsantli la ai ban Pyntrei da ka Manipur Industrial Development Corporation limited habujubab chushu ya ke jingkali benrap halo ke jing bamyo jong ki contractor pat ki company na ke jylla ban Pyntrei kam ya ki Emrs Pyntrei la ong ba ya ka express of interest omde bla khot da ka sarkar jylla henry ya ka EOI la khot da ka National Education Society for Tribal Students pat hakate ka por bla khot ya ka EOI ka jylla ka don hapreng ki jing perking ya ka kendon na ka daw jong ka kram covid khat khandai ka bla plong ba ki brew na ka ni ka jylla kimyo satya banyashimanta ha ka EOI kat kum ke jinge tho ke jong uba rumboi Pyntrei rangba ke jylla konrad ki sangma ulatho chau Pyntrei bedekmi ya ka Ministry of Tribal Affairs ka sarkar preng ban kintu ba ya ki jingtrei ka Emrs de ban IT ha ki contractor ke jylla andre hadu menta ka ministry kampat pha satya ya ka juba.
So this in the last few years we have seen that the government has been able to achieve sanctions for about 40 projects for setting up of the Meghalaya Model Residential Schools. So, but sad to note that the construction work and the execution part is not in the hands of the government, sir. So, this education department initially had started to take up two projects on its own with its own engineering cell that they have. I felt that rather than giving this work to outside, this work should have been done within the state, sir. It should have been given to the PWD buildings or it should have been given to the MGCC. Now we see companies from outside like WAPCOs being given 13 projects. Now we see Manipur Industrial Development Corporation Limited being given 25 projects, sir. So, may we know from the Honorable Minister, sir, how does the Education Department propose to go ahead with the construction works with WAPCOs and the Manipur Industrial Development Corporation, depriving the rights or maybe depriving the chances for our local contractors? We have very good builders in the state. Maybe they could have done a better job, sir. So may we know clearly from the minister, how do they propose to go ahead with this project, sir?
Mr. Speaker, sir, this project has been sanctioned by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. And the Ministry of Tribal Affairs have entrusted to the National Education Society for Tribal Students, NEST, to implement this project. And the NEST have called EOI for the agency to implement this project. But, sir, the EOI, which was called, in fact, the Education Department, the Planning Department have written to MECL, MGCC, MIDC, and PWD building to participate in this EOI. But that period is in the midst of pandemic, and it seems because our COVID monitoring system is very stringent here, and that time the work, we could not, this department, corporation or PSU in our state could not participate. And the other agency from outside they participate. So that's why the NES allotted those work to them. After that, then our Honorable Chief Minister has taken himself and has written the letter explaining all the reason which this or local PSU or government agency which could not take. So to kindly consider this project to be given to the state agency or government. But till date the reply have not been given, sir.
So I appreciate the answer. I understand now that this is the background. It was not clear to us, sir. So it's good that the Honorable Minister has explained in detail how we missed the bus in the tender process. Nevertheless, sir, I also appreciate that Chief Minister has taken pains to convince the Tribal Affairs Ministry. But may we know the status as of now, because the Honorable Chief Minister had gone to Delhi recently, and I'm sure he must have met some of the ministry officials there. Could we know whether this is being considered or not for the state?
So, as I have said, that we have not get any communication. But for the 13 members which implemented by the WAPCOS, some of the projects have been sanctioned, which will be implemented by WAPCOS only. And in fact, the soil testing for the site have going on. But for those 25 number of the which was allotted to Manipur Industrial Development Corporation that have not been sanctioned. And in fact, now the feasibility report of the site selected also have not been given. So we are still awaited for that. We will work into it, but I cannot assure the House that since this project have been taken, allotted on the basis of EOI, whether we can do or not, what is our duty to try to persuade the government of India, if possible, we can allot to the states, sir.
So may I know from the Honorable Minister, since WAPCOS has already started to work, is the WAPCOS engaging our local builders or local contractors or not, sir?
So the process for now is only for the soil testing to see that the site which have been proposed there, that it is feasible or not for the construction of this school building. After that, then they will prepare the DPR, and then the tender will be floated, and whoever successful bidder, then the work will be allotted to that person or company, as the case may be, sir.
So my last question. Sir, keeping in mind all these developments in the education department, and with a lot of money coming in for construction work, and from the budget also we could see that the Chief Minister has allotted a lot of money for construction, extension, and various other civil works for the department. Is the department contemplating or thinking in the line of opening an engineering wing of its own, a full-fledged engineering wing of its own, sir, for this purpose, sir?
So there is always a plan, but we cannot say right now, because we have to see what is the cost of establishing the engineering wing and its recurring costs, and whether the project which comes, as we have seen that even this project, which are 40 projects which come to the state, that it depends upon the EOI, because which will be able, even if we are supposed the education department have its own engineering wing, we cannot sure that this project will go to education department, because we have to bid. Whether we are a lowest bidder or not, that is a different issue altogether, sir.
Yes, Marcus.
Sir, may I know from Honorable Minister the locations of other Eklavya model residential schools other than the two which have already been started for construction?
Sir, Mau Kerwat, Kharkuta, Ronggara, Samanda, Adnengkra, Rabukong village, Umsning at Pyntrei, Boldamgre at Boldamgre, Sok Paru under Nongstoy, Umlatkhur, Kairang, Mokhap, Dambo Rangjeng. But for the others, sir, for those 25, since the feasibility report have not come, then after that only we can confirm the exact location, sir.
Sir, one more, sir. Thank you, sir, for the answer. I would like to know the silent features of Eklavya Model Residential School, sir.
Sir, the purpose of establishing of this Eklavya Model Residential School in the country by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs is to keep the holistic development for the children from the primary till the for upper primary till the higher secondary stage will be fully residential. In fact, some of these model school, they will have a sport infrastructure also to build up for their career. And this will be fully residential, and it will be run by the society established by the government. And the running cost of this project, it is for 5 years, will be borne by the central government. After that, then the state government have to run these schools.
Yes, Masul. Sir, may I know, out of these schools which have been selected, how many foundation stone has been laid?
Sir, in fact, I didn't remember the exact date. This program was launched by our Honorable Prime Minister all over the country at one point of time. After that, then I laid one function stone in that Pahang with Honorable from Nongpo, and then for others I didn't have the record with me, sir. I required notice, sir.
Sir, is the school at Maukenro block tender has been invited or not?
I don't have the record with me because the tender at Maukenro block is to be called by the WAPCOS. But as I said, that they are still doing this soil testing. So after that, they will float the tender for construction of this work.
Last question, sir. I understand that WAPCOS has an office in Guwahati, but MIDC had their office at Imphal. So it is possible on the part of the state government to request MIDC to open an office in Shillong for the purpose of execution of these 25 schools.
So, the MIDC till date have not communicated directly to the government. So, as and when they communicate, then we will surely place the interest of the state to be taken care of. So, whatever necessary thing to be done, we will do according for the interest of the state.